I'm here today with Steve Herbert, who is the Director of Smart Home Solutions for Builders for Samsung. Steve, why don't you kick off our conversation here with an outline of Samsung's product lineup for builders, and then I'd love to know a little bit more about your role, how you work with builders.
Sure, sure. Well, Samsung makes market-leading products for home builders in a number of key categories for them: appliances, smart home, TV, mobile devices. We also make high-performance air conditioning systems, which is something that is really important to builders these days as they seek higher and higher efficiency levels, which is really cool. And I think what that means for home builders is that the Samsung brand, which is a top 10 global brand, helps them sell more homes. This is what consumers want. Even cooler than the fact that these innovative products are market leading is that they all work together with one simple application called SmartThings, which ties them all together and helps them work in kind of unique and interesting ways. And it provides a smart home experience that nobody else can match right now.
Yeah. So you've got big, broad lines of products in those categories. I mean, what falls into the smart connected category in the appliances category for, say, which types of appliances would you say have that sort of feature set?
Well, interestingly, they all have some capabilities in them that are smart. On the appliance side, one interesting thing is that now every builder can be a smart home builder if they choose Samsung, because all of our packages include at least one connected range. So all of our ranges now are connected. That means that you're going to be able to have additional features that you can control via the app or via your voice. Things like being able to preheat the oven on your way home from work. Really cool things that at first you think, oh, do I need that? But once you start using it, you're like, yep, not going back.
So the Wi-Fi connectivity for the oven in particular, very saleable feature set, right?
Yeah, and just knowing like, oh, I left a burner on, and being notified of that and being able to turn it off remotely. Or, our refrigerator, the Family Hub, of course, is quite incredible. It's the only, refrigerator from a leading manufacturer with, a huge touch screen that you can use for, food inventory management. You might be at the grocery store, forgot what you had in the fridge. You can check the cameras that are inside the fridge that show you exactly what's in your refrigerator. You can download recipes right on that screen and meal prep. And I mean, you can even call an Uber. It's incredible.
Can you see when the celery has become wilted?
Yeah, you're going to laugh, but yeah. So we have a database of shelf life essentially for common items in the refrigerator. So if you inventory that on the day that it's inventory, and as you bring it home from the grocery store, you put it in there, you'll get notifications on which food items are likely to go bad soon. And you can actually filter recipes for those ingredients. So if you've got a few leftover items that have kind of been in the fridge for a while, you can figure out if there's a recipe where you can utilize all of them.
That's cool. And right now you're entering that data as you fill the refrigerator, but at some point we're going to have machine vision and it's just going to know that those are carrots going in on June the 23rd, right?
Samsung is one of the top companies leading the way in artificial intelligence. And so that's absolutely something that we're working on and developing. We have artificial intelligence in our laundry machines. They do some really, really cool things with presetting the knob based on like when you typically do certain types of laundry. It just learns that for you and then sets the dial like it's ready to go, hit the button. It's pretty cool. We have a lot of predictive technologies that we're working on, or technologies that can take different pieces of data, pull them together to make new conclusions.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Well, what about the video displays? I mean, I think everybody in the market knows about Samsung and video. I mean, it's kind of become, I like to say we have had architectural audio for 30 plus years, right? Since the guys at Sonance figured out you put stuff in walls and ceilings.
Mhm.
But we're really getting to a moment of architectural video as well, where the displays are more built in or can be more a part of the visual aesthetic on the walls in particular. I mean, what's going on with you guys in that category?
Well, I mean, our key visual displays are going to be, like a mobile tablet. For instance, you could wall mount one of our Samsung tablets and use it as an interface to your smart home.
Yeah,
The TV, of course, is a critical element of our smart home experience.
yeah,
Uh, Not only can the TV be automated, so it can be part of an automation routine where the TV it gets turned on, the stereo system gets turned on,
yeah.
and the mood lighting for how you like to watch TVs, or the blinds are closed, right? These can all be part of an automation routine. So Samsung TVs are just one more product that works within the SmartThings universe to be automated. Um, our TVs are incredible. Like they even have an ambient mode where they will create like a soothing multimedia experience, like maybe you're having a party or something like that, or they can just show the reel of family photos. But they also can be an interface for SmartThings. They
Yeah.
can also be, you might be watching TV and someone rings your doorbell camera, and that you get a notification right on the TV that says, you've got somebody at the front door. You can see them in a little window on the TV. You can talk to them through the microphone on the remote. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
What about frame? I mean, what about the idea of getting into the art budget, right? Which is, it's a big budget, if
That's cool. And we also have this really great outdoor TV now as well. So yeah, the frame TV, I actually purchased that for my own home because I have an older architectural home from like 1929. I wanted the TV to feel integrated, and I bought the frame TV because it doesn't look any different when it's sitting on my wall than a piece of art. And I thought that it just looked amazing. And then now we have the ability to have, a TV integrated into a really incredible patio experience, So it's not just about cooking outdoors, right? Now it's movie night outdoors.
You and I have such deep roots in the technology space, but housing transformation isn't completely about smart connected stuff, right? It is about builders' ability to sell through innovative products and on-trend products. So you've got some stuff going on in the appliance line beyond the smart connected technology side of things with the bespoke line of, just talk a little bit about that, because I think
absolutely. Well, I mean, first of all, every home builder is different, right? And you need to have an appliance line that can match or fit the product that the builder is building, right? All the way from the low end to the high end. We have basic appliances, some of which are not connected, all the way up to our connected decor products, which are a luxury appliance. So we have to meet the needs of builders from the low end all the way up to the luxury end. But then, you also want to meet their needs on the design side. And you need to manage that sort of customizability that's so key to selling homes these days in terms of the design, right? So the bespoke line is really interesting because not only can you change the exterior finishes, and we're working with artists and designers to create more and more exterior finishes that people can buy and apply to the surfaces of the appliances, but also our bespoke line can actually disaggregate, right? Like something like a fridge into multiple components. And you can move those components and separate them and place them in different places in the kitchen if that's the way that you want to design your kitchen. So it's customizable from a design perspective, customizable, in terms of the actual physical components. And that just gives the freedom and flexibility for a designer to build the home exactly the way that their customer wants.
Yeah. So we talked a lot about appliances. We talked a little bit about video displays. I mean, what else do you have in the finishes category, right? With housing transformation, we're laying out key concepts for digitization of the business, but really also taking two realms that are critical in home building, the finishes realm and the structures realm, and trying to drive progress there and give our guests the ability to drill down within an area where they have category expertise. What else do we have on the finishes side of things from Samsung that we should be knowing about for builders?
I mean, I think the key thing for finishes is the appliances. The smart home experience is designed to kind of melt into the home. We don't want it to be very pronounced, right?
Yeah.
Same with the air conditioning systems. It's primarily about the appliances, the TVs, and of course the mobile devices are also an option that some builders are going with these days to create a slicker, more tech forward look and feel in the home.
Mobile devices as their user interface to the technology, or what?
Exactly. Yeah. We have one builder in Alabama that puts a tablet they give the tablet to the homeowner, but we've seen some builders mount them in key places where it can be a central hub of information and control within the home. So you might just have that in a central place in the home when you're getting ready to go to bed at night. You just hit a button and the whole house shuts down. You can also do that through a voice assistant that's connected to SmartThings. People don't realize that SmartThings is connected to products from Amazon and Google for voice, and they all integrate and work together. So yeah, I'd say for finishes, you're looking at those three categories primarily.
And what about, folks might not know that Harman is a Samsung company, but is Harman Audio part of the mix as well? And they may not know that Decor is part of the appliances mix either, right? Because it doesn't have the big bold Samsung brand on it, but
that's right. Yeah,
that's all part of the mix in the offer set for the builders, right?
Yeah, Harman has been a very independent brand from Samsung for a long period of time. They have a very specialized business. As you know, some of their speakers are $10,000, $20,000, really, really expensive item. I think it's really cool that, when Samsung purchased Harman Kardon, they created a really interesting opportunity to bring connectivity and better and improved connectivity into that space. So there's things that are being worked on there. But our builder effort right now is focused primarily on the appliances as the sort of the lead. That's the most important product that we sell for home builders.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, we've brought together multiple organizations and distribution channels to kind of create a smooth offering that can all be delivered to one home builder.
So let's elaborate on that, because that's on my list here. Is I call it assortment planning, right? How do you help the builders identify? You've got products, you've got big chunks of the solution, but there are typically complementary manufacturers involved or service providers. What kind of help do you provide to the builders on that front?
I often take on the role of smart home consultant sometimes. And, we have 60 sales organization members around the country. They're in particularly focused on appliances, but they're also focused on meeting the needs of builders in those other categories, HVAC, TV, et cetera. And so they're kind of the tip of the spear. They sort of establish the relationship. I come in to help people envision what's possible with the smart home experience, and to bring in these other products from an operational standpoint, making sure that they can acquire the best price on TVs from someone nearby them, that they can contact our HVAC installers in their area, that they get the right contractor for smart home in particular. I've built a channel of distribution partners and low voltage and electricians that know SmartThings, that know how to install it and use it and customize it for a home buyer.
Yeah.
And that's really, really critical to our delivery of value to the builder, because it's not just about the products, right? It's about the entire relationship. Can you lower their risk? Can you lower the time that it takes to install it? Can you, find innovative ways to lower the cost? One of the great things about our connected solutions, they're all wireless. So if you think about the savings in low voltage wiring, right, in a lot of cases, or the time that it takes to plan and schedule them into the production of a home builder's operations, you don't have to do that now. So there's a lot of things that can be done right there at the end of the process, because it's wireless.
Is training of existing subcontractors on some of these product sets part of what you do in addition to identifying new resources?
There's a lot of support for these contractors, no doubt. But one of the great things about Smart Things is that it's so easy to set up. It started out as a product that you could just buy off the shelf at a major retailer and build your own smart home environment. And so it was designed for anybody to be able to do it. So when these contractors, some of whom are familiar with really complex and expensive systems, and they get their hands on Smart Things, it's intuitive, it's fast, it's designed for anybody to do. And so there's really not a whole lot of training involved. One thing I've learned about smart home, right, is that you have to create a compelling live experience in the model home to really help drive home sales. People don't often understand or have the ability to imagine what's possible in the smart home experience when they first walk into these homes. And so you want the experience to be really accessible to them, but also to show them some of the most interesting and cool parts. So we've actually built a guide to building a compelling live demonstration that really helps these low voltage contractors, implement it themselves. Typically, they'll also train the sales team on how to show the model home if they're doing a guided tour, and what to say.
Talking about the builder sales team, right?
Yeah, the builder sales team, exactly. It's really, really important for the builder to be able to leverage the smart home technology in ways that help them sell homes.
Right.
They have to be able to, like we provide them with brochures for their sales offices. Their sales team knows how to communicate verbally about the different aspects of the live demonstration. Their contractor sets up the live demonstration. Typically, their low voltage contractor will often do an upsell of additional packages, which I will often help them design based on their brand and what they're trying to, where they're trying to direct their brand. So for instance, if you're a green builder and you're doing energy management, I will help them understand the components of our energy management capability within Smart Things, so they can show off how they help save energy. Our appliances will report their energy into Smart Things and all kinds of cool things.
Right. And so these sales and marketing assets that what assets do you have? You have brochures? Do you have digital marketing assets that they can plug into their option selections catalogs? Do you have video storytelling for rich media, pop-ups and stuff? What do you got?
Yeah. I think the key assets, as I mentioned, we're a top 10 global brand. So the Samsung brand, the Samsung logo by itself is going to help sell homes. And we index particularly high with the millennial demographic. They love Samsung. So, that's the key demographic in home sales right now. So Samsung by itself is a key to that. But how do you leverage the brand, right? You have to have a toolkit, right, that has the logos, that has the right pictures in it, that has an example format, for instance, let's say for a smart home program flyer that shows what you get in every home and what are the upgrade packages. So we make it as simple and effective to create those tools as possible. We provide signage examples with sample content. So that if you wanted to put signs in there that says, try this, or whatever, you can, put your custom logo on there and it's easy to create and ready to go. So those are some of the tools that we provide.
And are you customizing programs and plans for every builder relationship that you guys ink at, at a certain level?
No, I think we're looking for scalable ways to do that. And so for instance, one of the things that we've done is we have a tool on our smartthings.com website where you can look at, you can filter by different device categories, different brands, and you can see all of the devices that are compatible with SmartThings. So you can actually assemble your own packages based on who you know and who you like that also happens to work with SmartThings. Obviously, what you're typically trying to create as a builder is a one app experience for your homeowners that they can integrate everything into SmartThings, and then on a daily basis, they have one app that they can use for controlling their entire home. And so, you know, you want your garage controller to work with SmartThings. You want your lighting to work with SmartThings. And so that makes it really, really simple. Where I often come in is they say, but what's the right mix for me? You know, how do I, with what I'm trying to achieve, create the right smart home packages? And that's where it gets a little bit more complicated. And I have to be able to say, okay, well, you know, for this type of home that you're building and for your brand, I might recommend a slight adjustment from, let's say, this basic package. And I might recommend featuring a couple of upgrade packages because of your focus in these areas, whether it's security or whatever.
Are you working with builders on those ideas before you have a deal struck? Is that like
We
part
typically
of winning the business is the ability to actually collaborate with them on that level of planning?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, with different products, you have different levels of planning. I kind of take on the high level role, that sort of strategic planning focus. When you get into the appliances, our sales rep for appliances is going to meet all of those needs in particular. You know, if you needed guidance on, you know, which TVs to buy and all that, you know, we can get the TV team involved. So, you know, it's a complex network because there are so many products, right? I kind of am like the quarterback at times. And then we have individual team members that help in different areas.
I want to get your opinion. You know, the grand mission of housing transformation is to help builders achieve a greater share of market. If you look at the US housing market, it's actually in 2020 a $3.4 trillion marketplace. 2.2 trillion of that is existing home sales, about 410 to 420 million each for rent and for home and billion each for rent and for home improvement, and 315 billion for home building. So out of that 3.4 trillion, builders have a 9% share, despite being the best branded, probably best capitalized and most operationally proficient players in the market. And so our thesis with housing transformation is that if we can do a better job with digital marketing of competing for home buyers or for people who are looking for housing of any sort, if we know if we can get to them and we have a order of magnitude differentiated product that's innovative and on trend at a level that is almost impossible to duplicate with a used house, that we're going to win more market share. And you know, my feeling is we could go from 9% to 18 or 20% by the end of the decade. But I just love to get your, you know, your opinion is if we can somehow figure out a way to make innovation sing in new homes. And it's complicated because it's a complicated supply chain and there's a lot of stuff going on. But if we could somehow get more cool new stuff into homes on a regular basis and do the right stuff from a marketing perspective, I think we got a huge opportunity here. Curious your opinion on that. Is 10 years too aggressive, not aggressive enough? How do we do this? How does Samsung play a role in making that happen?
Well, I think it is possible for sure. And I think that, you know, as a marketing person myself, you can't be everything to everybody, right? We can't guarantee that builders are building in the inner core where a lot of people are moving to, you know, and so there's always going to be, you know, your typical person that the home builder is building for in certain key areas, although we're seeing a lot of variety on that. I think that regardless of where people are building, where people want to build, and that's a big factor in whether they're going to buy a new home or not, is, if you're inclined to buy a new home, what are you really looking for? And I think one thing that is much more readily possible in a new home is customizability, right? And making something special for a particular individual. And so in order to get to a level of customization in the home that really makes it so unique and different that people would just have to buy a new home for it, then I think we all have to bake that into our products, like we're doing with Bespoke. But also, if you think about it, like, our smart home experience, we have over 5,000 integrated products. That's a heck of a lot of flexibility and choice. I try to understand their unique position in the market, what they're going for, so that for that position, they're going to sell the most possible homes. I do think also that it's probably really, really key that home builders find ways to lower the cost of home building if it's possible. And that's been really, really difficult, whether it's, shortages of labor. Obviously, during the pandemic, we've had the supply issues and the increased costs of building materials. Those are all things that are making it really hard. I think one thing that's really interesting that I'm seeing happen now is that manufactured home builders are finding a place in the market. And we might see some traditional stick-built home builders doing more in that type of building, because they one of the innovations is simply lowering the cost of building a home. And right now in the US market, the price of homes obviously continues to skyrocket. And, so if you want to sell more homes, let's make sure that your price is on target. So we'll see some changes there. I think the other big thing with new homes is that, you just can't meet that level of energy efficiency in a resale home. And as we fight climate change, Samsung is absolutely jumping to the front of the line there and trying to help build the most efficient homes on the market. And that simply can't be achieved in a resale home most of the time. So whether it's our high efficiency air conditioning, whether it's our Energy Star appliances, or whether it's our energy management capability within SmartThings that help you see where you're using energy and how to save more energy, even to kind of, participate in demand response programs from your utility that manage energy across the entire home, not just at the thermostat like that you would normally get. These are all things that kind of can contribute to making these homes differentiated for the people who are inclined to buy a new home.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I think you hit on some of our key concepts. We do agree. A lot of it was structures, right? It's like energy efficiency and the structure energy efficiency with the HVAC and ventilation technologies for sure. Personalization on a schedule, personalization at scale is definitely a key to competing, because it's almost impossible to get the used house that's exactly what you want, but we can really get close to delivering that fully to a home buyer with a new home if we've got the right processes and tools in place. And so awesome. We're thrilled to have you on board with housing transformation. I know a lot of folks are going to want to connect with Samsung at the Housing Transformation Summit in November. Thanks so much for your time today, Steve.
Thank you so much, John. Enjoyed talking to you. Thanks for the opportunity.